Saan ka man dalhin ang kapalaran, iisang bayan lang sa puso mo'y laman. Pinagmulan at babalikan, konting tiis na lang, at hanggang sa araw na yan ay asal. Kami nandito lang, sabay na pakinggan ang mga kwento nyo. Ikaw na sa mundo, ba'y namin kayo? Di pagkatapang nyo, hinialay sa mundo, sinasaludo namin kayo. Pilipino, itaas ang noo, ipagmalaki mo ang galing nyo, isigaw sa mundo.
Magandang hapon UK, magandang hapon Europe, magandang gabi Pilipinas, at kung saan man po kayo naroroon, magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Ihatid namin sa inyo ang kwento ng iba-ibang mukha ni Juan sa special program live streaming KONEK Kontra Corona here on Facebook, kasama po sa YouTube. Ako si Rose Eclarinal.
Samahan po ninyo kami sa mga natatanging kwento ng mga Pinoy sa Europa na mag-iiwan ng aral, ngiti, impormasyon at pag-asa. Ako po si Kiara Gregorio.
Ito po ang kwentong Pinoy, kwentong migrante, kwentong Juan KONEK Kontra Corona. Ako po si Jean Alcantara.
For our Kontra Corona project for 6 months, the National Lottery Community Fund is graciously funding this project to serve the Filipino communities in England, UK, and beyond. As many countries in Europe and around the world are moving to face lockdown, we have a globetrotter who will give us some tips on traveling. What are the new traveling restrictions in the UK? How do you stay safe when traveling? And many more. And for our inspiring story, we have a Pinay who has been making use of her time efficiently, and she promotes the goodness and creativity of Filipino people. She recently won a poetry prize about COVID-19. And for our Immigration 101, we will be joined by our immigration consultant, Jean Alcantara. Jean, what do you have for us this week?
Okay, thank you, Rose. Alam niyo po, palagi nating naririnig na pwede daw mag-apply ng asylum dito sa UK. Totoo po ba ito? Paano po ang pwedeng gawin? Sa Immigration 101, tutunghayan po natin ang istorya ng isang Pinay na tatawagan natin si Marisa kung paano niya matagumpay na nakuha ang asylum sa UK.
Thank you, Jean. Sasamahan po tayo ni Jean sa Immigration 101 sa ating pong third segment. So to welcome our guest, Kiara, please introduce her further.
She is an internationally recognized Fengshui expert, president and CEO of Riga Charm Life, author and Fengshui consultant to popular personalities in business, politics, and entertainment. Let's all welcome Ms. Marites Allen.
Hello, everyone. It's so nice to be here. Hello. Thank you for your invitation.
Yes. Hi, Marites. Welcome to KONEK. Thank you. Maraming salamat for granting us this opportunity to...
Anytime.
To learn from you. You know, yung biyahe mo galing Pilipinas papunta ng UK, napaka-informative ng Facebook account mo because blow by blow yung information na binibigay mo, pagsusuot ng PPE, pagdating sa airport, yung sa eroplano. But before we talk about that, can you please tell us, how has your business been affected by the lockdown? You travel around the world, you have family in the UK, you need to travel because of your business and to see your family.
Yeah, actually, basically, because I'm into Feng Shui. So sabi ko nga, in terms of because in terms of recession, I can remember in 2008, we had the recession, right? So when when businesses, when people are going through a bad luck, they need feng shui. When things are so good for them, they also need feng shui. So I am, perhaps I could consider myself lucky because ever since the pandemic started in March, even like Chinese New Year, I had been very busy. So I had been working really nonstop because the moment the Chinese New Year finished, that's the time that I have so many backlogs of consultations. So it just spills over. So what has been affected so far are just my stores, my boutiques. So what we did is we also shifted because we see this brick and mortar setup is not a viable thing to do in terms of a long term. So as early as about 3 or 4 years ago, we had started the online business, the internet business, the e-commerce. So basically, we had been, I would say, we are lucky in a way that we really have followers. So either it's in a consultation, either it's people who wants to get their charms, like especially now it is gonna be a ghost month season. So I already have like requests in terms of interviews, what to do. And what was amazing is that the interaction that you can do like this in terms of consultation. So you can do this, you can do a lot of this without even leaving your homes. So I would say we are lucky. I am in a lot lucky part, and I couldn't, you know, it's really like I couldn't complain. The only issue is basically because it's summer season, you always wanted to see your kids. My kids are here. The other side, you know, Nick and myself and Nikki were in Manila. So that was like the sort of like stressful time. And it's always because they are here. So I'm always up in the evening in Manila. So I don't sleep like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning because I have to catch up with them. I have to call them. Plus, another opportunity that came in, Mari, is that my son, Kurt, he is in fact one of the founders for the British Hemp Society. So as early as March, there has been a lot of inquiries about sourcing of the PPEs and how to get it from Southeast Asia. So one of the businesses that we do is actually I've been trading in Southeast Asia for the last 25 years. So it was amazing in terms of inquiries and requests from international clients on where to source their PPEs. So I actually helped my son and his contacts to support that in terms of like sourcing all of this, like the nitrile gloves. I mean, it's amazing. It's like the story is incredible. That and then it's like I said, oh my god, I keep sleeping at 4 or 5 a.m. in Manila when a lot of my contacts are just here in Europe, Europe, Canada, USA. So my time is like all over the place. So moving to the UK, right, really fits in everything because number one, my family are here, my kids are here, my parents-in-law, my mother-in-law is here, Nick's family is here. It was really like so random because so business wise it's okay. It's also I have to think of our daughter Nikki as well because she is on her last year of education in Manila, and it's really like mommy, I can no longer bear the online studying because they needed to have that human interaction. So it's good to be out. It's good to travel. It was really smooth. In fact, mas na-stress pa ako sa sa biglaan na pagbiyahe.
Okay. So, yes,
stress
yes.
ako.
Yeah, so you talk us through your travel kasi parang ikaw lang ang nakita ko na magkaroon ng ganitong klase ng preparation wherein you have a different parang cloak or PPE na
Yes,
sa
kasi maarte.
pag-alis mo ng Pilipinas. Tapos I saw that you were actually wearing another PPE inside the plane. So please explain, ano yung strategy mo in this travel?
Yeah, so basically what happened was, we've been contemplating when you do things, Mare, it's for the family, right? It's like you don't do things on your own. So anyway, Sabi ko, mas na-stress pa ako because my husband said, "Oh, honey, I think we have to leave today." I said, "What do you mean you have to leave today? Like today?" I said, "Yeah, because by tomorrow the rules will change. Everyone now is going to might be asked to do the COVID test. So, kasi Etihad, Emirates, Qatar are sure by August 13 they have to be asked with a COVID test. So it was August 12 in the morning. So I'm telling you, Mari, lahat na lang halos, just bags after bags. So mas na-stress ako doon. So anyway, so mentally going to the airport, I think it's very important to have that presence of mind. Like, people tend to keep thinking of what if, all the what if in all these things. So it's nice to be ready within reason. Number one, the Philippines, in fact, you have to be ready with the usual PPE protection, the face mask, the face shield. So when you enter at the airport, it's really like a different feeling because it's so weird. Like there's so less people there, like as if you're entering into your like private airport or like a private plane. But I am sort of like extra careful. I think sabi ko nga, because you're a mother and I have a responsibility to my company, to my staff, to my fans, for example, that sabi ko, oh my God, I could not bear to die pa. But then, sabi ko, if it happens, I might as well be ready. So I think 2 or 3 days ago, when we were contemplating of moving, and sabi namin, sige, if Nikki could get or could be accepted in the same, kasi they have to do Mari the IB lessons parang it's a different class that she's attending. So it has to be the same here. So good job, we managed to find her a school in Oxford or at South Bank International School. So medyo ano pa, pero hindi pa yun confirm. We will only know the confirmation by Friday. So we actually were living with that frame of mind na parang pupunta ka doon, yes, you're gonna see your family, but then what if Nikki cannot get a school? Parang ganon. So I think rather than stressing ourselves, let's just go. Because if it doesn't work, then we can always come back anytime anyway. So anyway, the whole experience of going to the airport it's really like very different because like what I said, there are very less people and everything is practically observing social distancing. But in a way, it gives you a different perspective because wow, nakalabas ka. You know what I mean? Parang it really is so different. Like psychologically, when you are like, when you have that feeling, like, na-remember mo yung airport, alam mo, banda, sa kabilang banda, nandun Starbucks, you know what I mean? So, it's like that excitement of traveling again. And it was very smooth, like what I said, because for as long as you have everything. So before we left Manila, my husband had to fill in a form in sa UK Visa and Immigrations because you have to declare where you're gonna be, tapos where you're going to quarantine, lahat ng questions that they can trace you, you have to be able to be available for them. So this can be done online. Yes. But again, as a matter of precaution, we brought in, our hard copy anyway, just in case, diba? Tapos syempre,
but did they check that hard copy? Because I understand that if you have to fill up a form 48 hours before your travel, just like when you go to the US. And then do you have to present that paper when you enter the UK?
No, they didn't even ask. We were ready for it. I think, 24 hours is okay. But I think because you have like a serious number that's being assigned per person. So I think, like what I said, you just have to be ready anyway because you don't know. Tapos syempre maarte ako, Mari, so I have my mga magic wand. I have my sanitizing wand. So even if at the airport, so I have one for my handbag. So honestly, and I have like the sanitizing gel in my hands. Para I'm so
show us again your gadget. What is that?
So this is like so this is like it could kill down 99.9% of the germs. So even when I sat down at the airport, I made sure it's a UV light. So I had to before I sit then. So my husband is like, honey, are you crazy? So I don't care. So like, for example, like the cell phone. So I have the one for my handbag. So it could actually like, because, we put our phones anywhere, everywhere,
Yes,
right?
that's
So,
true.
so I think for me, anything that could really make you safe, what I noticed, Mari, is inside the plane, is strictly you have to wear the mask and the face shield. So the question is, and even they do also do social distancing as well. So they made sure that people were like seated separately as well. And then I think sabi ko nga,
Yeah.
honestly, to people who are like scared to travel, honestly, to be honest with you, parang feeling namin lahat, it's even safe to travel because there are really less people. Like there are
Yes,
very, very less people. And then
that's
every
true.
corner there's sanitizing gel. So the whole journey was really like, like the few hours before you were thinking like, what if, I mean, you catch something on the air
Mm-mm.
condition. Di ba we keep reading those things, na baka sa air
Yes.
condition, you're cooked up in the plane. I honestly did not have that feeling. Yung
Okay.
parang you were worried before, but when you're
Mm-mm.
you're there, talagang there's nothing to worry for as long as you observe that. And then when you arrive, of course, at the airport, they are also very, very careful. Like, syempre, di ba? No more, as much as possible, no touching surfaces and everything. Everything can be automated. Even the temperature, they do a
Mm-mm.
thermal scanning. No more of this manual. They do check. They do check the thermal scanning.
Mm-hmm.
Um, again, it was, but Mare, it was really less. I think you're talking about 2 or 3 flights lang ang dumating.
Mm-mm.
Hindi, usually, di ba, it's like how many flights at any given time arrive. So
Yes, that's
in that
true.
aspect, I noticed that it's actually very safe because there's like not
Mm-hmm.
much people moving around. So mas sabi ko nga, mas nag-worry pa ako ng hours before the flight than on the actual
Mm-mm.
journey. So
Mm-mm.
we are still in a quarantine. I'm on my 4th day today. So we'll see in the
Mm-hmm.
coming days. But then in terms of preparation, Mari, I also would like to share that siguro I'm a person that I don't really like tend to pressure myself in terms of worry. Like, I even like pre-recorded myself to have like, sabi ko nga, kung ano yung mga gusto ko kung sakali may mangyari sa akin. So I have to
Mm-hmm.
to record that. I have, what is my will in case on my
Mm-mm.
device, whatever. Parang you go to the point of preparing something anyway, just in case, because
Yes.
you'll never know. You'll never know.
So we've talked about briefly yung tungkol sa quarantine po. You're gonna have to quarantine for 14 days. So how have you prepared for that? What essentials have you got at the moment?
Sa bahay naman kasi, we make sure that the place, unang-una, dapat alamin mo muna kung saan ka pwedeng tumira, di ba? Para at least, will it have enough room for everybody? Especially if you're gonna be observing the social distancing. And then, apart from the usual sanitizers that I made sure and require to be in every corner of the house, at the same time, syempre, yung pagkain. So the necessities, it has to be ready, and try to like shop something that would allow you to be able to have enough for the at least the first week. And then at least naman sa UK kasi you can have things delivered, diba? And of course, every day, I had to monitor if, one has a fever, one is feeling something different, because it is important for us to know where or how we feel on a daily basis. And life is like what I said, I just practically brought in with me my work online. So it's really as usual pa rin. Parang ano lang, you just have to change an environment. But I would say nga, Kiara, what happened is that the difference of your mind in terms of getting out from one country to another, uh, getting into this, parang a different feeling. Remember, Maria, when you were traveling, I thank goodness ginawa ko to kasi sometimes takot kang gawin, di ba? nakakatulong talaga. It really helps a lot of difference in terms of our mental aptitude. At saka yun na nga yung ugali talaga natin, minsan, sometimes things, rather than stressing yourself, it is what it is. So just try to learn and accept things as they come. Because otherwise, wala. Masisira lang yung mood mo. If uunahan mo pa. I mean, usually I believe in feng shui, right? So this is what we learn, and this is what my mantra is, that when you keep on thinking things that is not even gonna happen yet, or that could happen, why not utilize the same thinking, like, because remember, the universe will respond what's in this head. If you're asking for some sadness, then sadness will come. If you're asking for happiness, then happiness will come. So I'd rather do the latter, di ba? Parang that this trip is gonna be smooth. This trip is gonna be productive. This trip is gonna be successful. So I ought to always live like that. Now, if it doesn't turn out to be the way I'd like it to be, then so be it. So I don't, so yung attitude, Mari, napaka-importante.
Okay, so
It
you
is.
spoke about feng shui. Now I think it's the right time to segue to that. Do you have any favorable forecast in the next months or so? Bago naman magtapos yung taon na to, na hindi tayo gaanong
Oh my
hubog
God.
ng mga problema because of the
Yeah.
pandemic.
That's right. So I wish I really have the answer. Oftentimes at the beginning of the year, when we said that this is 2020, this is supposed to be a start of a new decade, we were saying, or I was saying, that this is a new beginning for everybody. Start something new, start something different, start something that you haven't done before. This is really something that I would say everyone was caught off guard. We cannot see that this virus has to happen. However, having to say that, when we say new beginnings, if you are familiar with the works of the Master Lao Tzu, actually, one said that new beginnings are often disguised as very sad endings. So, ibig sabihin, things has to end first in order for one person to have a new beginning. So, parang kaya na nga, new beginnings are often disguised as sad endings. So, just like everyone else, we hope and pray that this will be over soon. Take your extra precautions. Can you imagine, Mary, if one person actually is following the rule, right? Like when you get out of the airport at Heathrow, we were so ready with my PPEs and everything, with all the coverings, and then all of a sudden, not everyone is on mask, you know? So what is that? So, but then can you imagine if everybody was on mask and a facial? So maybe after 2 weeks, maybe, it's a better place. So it's really, it goes back to our own personal, how do you call it? If you care for others, you have to
Yes.
start with yourself first. So I think, just to share to everybody, whether or not, even I was telling Nikki, I said, okay, assuming you go to school here, etc., whatever, then you're still gonna use your mask, right? I said, yes, mommy. So because she knew that how the simple wearing of mask could help. So I really encourage everybody, whether you see some people who's not wearing it or not, just try to, because it really helps. It saves lives. I mean, I wish I could add more, but like what I said, when in going through life, wherever we are right now, the circumstances are different from everybody. My circumstances are different from the rest. My journey was very pleasant. I could do it again tomorrow. I don't mind. But some naman has actually a different experiences. So I think, again, as we go along with this season of pandemic, let's always have to have that hope, and again, the responsibility that we could share to everybody. So if we could spread some of the things that we experience from outside, just always be ready, be careful, don't take things for granted, and try
That's
to
true.
still, yeah, if you ask me, Mario, one of the things that I've been doing since the day it started in the pandemic is every day I still wake up and do my usual routine. I dress up, and even if I'm at home, because in that manner and in that aspect, I manage to still continue things as they are, as normal, even if I'm at home. So try to be really very productive, because so it was like a routine for me. Even now, even if I'm just in my quarantine room, I have to dress up and look pretty. Because if I don't do that, you know what I mean? If I don't do that, mawawala yung interest natin eh. That you, I would say this: you should have a purpose in life. Having a purpose in life is very important. So on a daily basis, you always have to think whether it's your last day here on earth, maybe it's this week, next week, next year, whenever. But what I'm trying to say is on a daily basis, you really have to always have a purpose in life. So for me, I want to make sure that my work is being done. It's continuous. I work as much as I do. Of course, smartly, not working hard. But because by putting these things into perspective, then the feeling of loneliness, the feeling of depression, the feeling of being isolated, the feeling of being alone will not sink into you. So since the start of the pandemic, life has been so normal for us. If you come to my house, my husband has his own work doing every day. I had mine. Nikki is the same thing. So it's on our own. So whether you are watching us right now in your bedroom, in your small flat, or in a big house, this thinking is very important. You have to have a purpose in life, which really
Thank you
helps.
so Yeah, thank you so much. Very inspiring naman talaga yan. But you see, Kiara, I've seen Marites up close. I know how she works. Very hardworking at saka very focused. And then, kaya nga,
Yeah.
when we talked about travel segment in our program, I thought, oh my goodness, this woman is so prepared. Not only, yung mindset niya, but also yung the practical side of it, yung traveling. Imagine preparing two types of PPE para sa kanyang layover. And then, yung pang disinfect, yes, yung gear niya, pang disinfect niya. So, she said it so well na sana if every single person traveling will do his or her own share, edi
Yeah.
mababawasan yung spread ng
Yes.
virus na yan, correct?
True.
Because,
Yes.
because I'm in the Philippines, and then Marites came from the Philippines, and we saw the difference of
Yeah.
the use of mask. In the Philippines, everybody wears mask. But I
Yeah.
wonder kung sa UK, because it's mandatory now na magsuot ka ng mask inside sa mga shops, kung ginagawa ba siya ng mga tao, or even if you just go outside, I think it's important to wear it as if it's part of your life na, kasi nandiyan
Yeah.
pa yung pandemic eh.
Yeah,
Diba?
protection talaga siya. It's actually long term use is a lot of hassle. That's why, Mare, I'm telling you, I have full respect with our frontliners. Can you imagine them wearing this? How many hours in a day, every day?
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
really amazing what they have done for us to keep us safe. So
Yes.
why not making ourselves as well safe? And yun na nga, pag wala ka lang naman palang business sa labas, why do you have to go out? Kasi yun na nga, we cannot test
Don't.
our fate.
Correct.
Just don't, just do not push it too much. So I think when things, while everybody is actually like hoping that this will be over soon, we can always hope and pray that you and your family are together. If you ask me personally, now I'm feeling so relieved that at least kahit papano we are in the same time zone. It's so
Mhm.
difficult to be with a family, and all of you are in different places, but at least kahit papano we couldn't see each other pa rin, but at
Mhm.
least we are in the same time zone. So that alone is a very big you know thing on my head, that like, wow, what are so
Yes.
I managed to sleep so soundly because I know they are all safe. So be well, everybody. Be well to your family. Keep safe, and follow to wear the mask all the time. A face shield as well
Fantastic.
if you can.
Great. Fantastic. Maraming salamat for joining us this afternoon, this
Anytime.
this evening. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you for your advice. Na-inspire uli ako. I'm like positive now because that's what I got from you also.
Yeah,
Like waking up in the morning, condition your mind what you need to achieve for the day. And
yeah.
so, you just keep on pushing for that. Well, maraming salamat po. Maraming salamat, my kumare. She is the goddaughter of my one and only
The
daughter, Julia.
pretty Julia.
And we will be traveling back to the UK soon, so we will give you updates pa rin of travel restrictions
Yeah.
kasi in-announce na ng UK that if you are coming from France, the Netherlands and Malta, you would have to quarantine for 14 days.
Yes,
Okay?
right.
So,
Yeah.
nakatutok pa rin po tayo dyan sa One You Connect, yung mga pagbabago, mga updates sa travel restrictions sa UK, sa Pilipinas, at sa iba pang bahagi ng Europa. So, magbabalik po tayo para sa ating pangalawang bahagi ng One You Connect. This time, an inspiring story naman ng isa nating kababayan. Welcome back. You're still watching One You Connect, streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. Our guest today was an entrepreneur, artist, journalist, event organizer, and a trained chef in the Philippines. She went to London in 2014 to further her studies as a chef, where she met her future husband, John. Like many migrants, she left the life she has known, family, friends, and moved here in the UK to be with her husband. She tries her best to do or to represent Filipinos in the community. So, Kiara, tell us more about our guest.
Yeah, so among her achievements are International Women's Day Top 5 Business Women awarded by Women's Business Club in 2020, Fairtrade Big Brew and Bake Off overall winner in 2020, Creative Business of the Year winner awarded by Women's Business Club in 2019, first place winner Flower Art Cheltenham Horticultural Society in 2019, and Best New Business of the Year finalist awarded by Women's Business Club 2018. Let's all welcome to the show Miss Viva Andrada of Lynn. Welcome po.
Hi, Viva. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Kiara, let me just... Hi.
Mabuhay lahat. Hello sa lahat ng nanonood ng One You Connect. Thank you for having me here in your show, Rose and Kiara.
Hi, Viva. Yes. Actually, we're saving the best for last because I wanted to share with everybody that during the lockdown, Viva won in a poetry competition about COVID-19. It's the World Humanitarian Drives COVID Times Poetry Competition Top Winner 2020. So congratulations on that. Can you please tell us more about this?
Thank you so much, Rose. So I wrote this award-winning poem during the lockdown in the UK. So World Humanitarian Drive said there were more than 3,000 entries, and we're lucky that we had an entry from the Philippines, and we were also one of the top winners. I actually thought that there would be a lot more Filipinos who would join the contest, as I think there's just so much talent in the Philippines. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't believe that I was the only one representing the Philippines. So I've also been representing the Philippines in other competitions here in the UK as well, just as what you mentioned earlier, Rose, that I won Creative Business of the Year awarded by Women's Business Club last year.
Wow, congratulations. Kasi when I was reading your profile, you have been around. I mean, you've been joining competitions in the UK. So what was your purpose in doing that?
Well, because I'm here in the UK, so I'm just far away from family and friends back home in the Philippines. So I just want to do my best to represent where I come from, which is in the Philippines. So I also want others to see the goodness and creativity of the Filipino people. So I also joined this contest. It was actually something I was writing first for myself. So I watch the news and then I find out the death toll and how it's constantly increasing. And well, I think that every life is important and we're just losing them to this virus. And so these are family, they're mourning the loss of their loved ones. So with so much going on and things that we just can't control, I was thinking, what can I do to help and how can I reach out? So I'm a writer, so I write to unleash my inner survivor. And then I write down what I'm going through, my personal experience. Then I think that I'm not the only one going through this. So I use my words to inspire myself and hopefully others as well. Rose?
Wow, fantastic. Kiara, you have a question for Viva?
Yeah, before everything else, when did you start to write these poems?
Poetry.
Oh,
Yeah.
when it is, sorry. I started writing poetry when I was 9 years old. Well, I started because it was something we had to do for school. And then I just grew to love it. And then so I've been doing it all the time. And then also during when I was in college at St. Paul in Quezon City. So I had this professor. His name is Abe Rator, Dr. Abe Rator. And then so he was reading my poems. And then he told me that the content, the quality was really good. So he encouraged me to come out with a book. So during my 18th birthday, I've had a book launch of my first book, Light of Dawn.
What is the book about?
Yeah, continue.
Yeah, Light of Dawn. It has all sorts of poems that I've written when I was a child till when I was 17 years old.
Wow, that's interesting. How do we get hold of that book?
Yeah, I think it was available at National Bookstore, but I'm not sure if it's still available. I also have another book, Survival: Your Guide to Life, that's also being sold at National Bookstore, but I'm not sure if they still have stock there.
Oh, I see. So I saw also, Viva, that there were people in the list of the winners. So is it like there's winner per country or there's only one winner for all?
There were several winners from different countries, and it just happened that I was the only one representing the Philippines at that time on that contest. But
Yes.
it came from different parts of the world, and there were over 3,000 entries, and then they just selected a few from that. And then also, as a result of that, from being one of the top winners, so World Humanitarian Drive also chose me to be their global media relations. So I'm helping them
Wow.
out with their events right now on Facebook and other
Wow,
platforms.
interesting. So Viva, you're really making use of your time efficiently during the lockdown. We came from a segment wherein Marites, Feng Shui Queen Marites Allen was talking about following your routine even if it's lockdown. You are doing the same. You've been busy doing poetry and all that. Um, I think at this point we would like to listen to that poem that you have written. Is
Okay,
this something that you can do for us? Would you be able to read it for us?
definitely. So the title is Who Knew? Who knew we could be heroes? Staying at home all day, binging on TV shows and movies. We're dressed in PJs. Sofa is our throne. Dreaming, planning, resting, healing ourselves in nature, experimenting on our play and creativity palette. What can we learn today? A new language, hobby, craft, skill, level up? What can we support? Even a 99-year-old war veteran can walk to raise millions in donations. Why can't we? Just giving fundraising to help those in need. We work from home, mingle with our family and friends online. We fight the virus from spreading. Together, one world at home, while frontliners work around the clock to keep life moving. Staying at home all day? We could be heroes. Who knew? Thank you.
Thank you, Viva. Thank you for that. Yeah, for those inspiring words. Kiara, na-inspire ka ba?
Opo, kasi it perfectly summarized our whole situation right now in the most simplest and inspiring way.
Great. Viva, you know, you have a gift with words, but I saw on your Facebook and Instagram that you're also into cake making.
Yes, that's right.
Yes?
Rose. Yes. So my company is called La Viva Cakes and Craft. So it's nearly 3 years ago. That was when I attended Angela D'Souza's Ultimate Business Course workshop with Bataras training. So I feel fortunate also to become part of that, because last year has been a blessing for me because I won Creative Business of the Year awarded by Women's Business Club. So it feels great to be part of a women's business club, a national network of businesswomen that aims to connect, support, and empower women who are in business.
So, Viva, you are a busy woman. You make yourself busy by doing a lot of things. You're into your poetry, you do cakes. It might be a silly question kasi paano nga ba tayo magpaplano sa panahon ng pandemya? But what do you intend to do after the pandemic? Will you be launching a new business?
Maybe it also helps that before the pandemic, I was already doing a lot. So pre-COVID times. So here in the UK, I've also been dabbling into events. So I've organized craft fairs at different venues in Gloucester. And then because of the pandemic, I've taken those craft fairs into a virtual fair. So I've been hosting, well, 2 fantastic virtual fairs already. So we're in people's homes. And then also during the lockdown, I've also flexed my writing muscles. And then so I've also been into art. So I'm also an artist. So another thing that I've done during the lockdown was to join art workshops organized by Art Shape based in Gloucester. And I think that they really look after their artists, and they actually send us art packs to keep us entertained and inspired during the lockdown. And then so also thanks to Art Shape, I'm one of Gloucester's emerging artists.
Okay. So, sa kwento sa atin ni Viva, napatunayan niya na even during the pandemic, marami pa rin po tayong pwedeng gawin. Viva, you are in the UK for 4 years. I'm sure mas mahirap sa panahong ito dahil lockdown. How do you deal with homesickness na ngayon na hindi mo makikita ng face-to-face yung family mo? And maybe your advice to those who would be in a similar situation?
Thanks, Rose. So I'm a Filipina living here in the UK, and so being around Filipinos here in the UK, it makes me feel less homesick. It's also fantastic that there's this Filipino organization in Gloucestershire. They support members with events and activities. Pero ngayon nga na because of pandemic, so online din yung pagbigay ng inspiration. So thank you to our chairman Raymond for giving us inspiration during the lockdown through Refresh on Gloucestershire Pinoy's Facebook page. Tapos I'm also the secretary of Filipino Association of Gloucestershire. And the good thing about yung these times talaga, yung technology natin, naging advanced na siya compared to a decade ago. Diba? So parang we could keep in touch through WhatsApp, Viber, yung online, we could do Facebook then. So we could still keep in touch. Nakaka-miss talaga and nakaka-worry sa mga family and friends natin back in the Philippines. But we still try to keep in touch online. At saka, it's not like before. Dati pag tumawag ka ng call overseas, it would cost like lots and lots of money. Pero ngayon, kasama na siya ng internet payment mo rin. So I think it's better that our internet is better, our means of communicating online. Yeah, so
Great.
thanks.
Yes. Yeah, well said. Inabot ko pa yung time na yon that I had to buy yung mga cards to use and to call my parents and my siblings or my friends in the Philippines. But now it's much easier. Well, Viva, thank you for sharing your story with us. And also, nakaka-inspire din because during the lockdown, you have won in a competition. You have made use of your time efficiently. And thank you for sharing that wonderful poem with us. Maraming salamat.
Rose, is it okay if I just share like just a survivor's manifesto? If there's like space for it, if you'll find it. It's like instead
What
of
is that? Okay. Okay. Go ahead quickly. Yes.
All right.
Okay.
I would just like to share Survivor's Manifesto, something I've written to give inspiration to Filipinos everywhere. I survive, strive, and thrive despite life's challenges. I stay strong and hold on even when I want to quit. I keep pushing, keep dreaming, keep my passion burning, even in the face of opposition. I respect myself at all times. I stay alert and focused on my goals. I learn from every experience. Life teaches me and get better every day. I survive and adapt to changes. I swim and stay afloat even in the face of panic. I keep a cool head and flow with the changing times. I survive heartbreaks, separations, disappointments, pain and loss. I love and cherish life. I build relationships and have a support network. I won't burn bridges. I connect with people of all ages, walks, and fields of life. I believe every life stage has lessons to teach. I can lean on others, and they can lean on me. We survive. We are survivors.
Thank you so much, Viva Andrada O'Flynn. Thank you for this opportunity to talk to you, for sharing your story with us. Magbabalik po ang One You Connect with Immigration 101, Immigration Consultant Jean Alcantara. Nagbabalik po tayo sa One You Connect at ngayon po makakasama natin si Immigration Consultant Jean Alcantara para po sa ating public service segment, ang Immigration 101. Hi, Jean.
Okay, great. So, hi, Rose. Anto na naman tayo. Katuwa yung mga guests natin kanina, ang queen ng Fengshui, si Marites Allen. At ngayon ko lang nalaman si Viva Andrada Flynn na isa palang poet. Di ba?
Yes, oo nga. At saka, ang dami niyang ginawa during the pandemic, no? Nag-organize ng events, sumali sa poetry contest, pati yung cake making, lahat yan. So, related din siya dun sa sinasabi ni Marites that don't let the pandemic stop your life. And yun naman talaga ang nangyayari, Jean, no? Na sa panahon ng pandemya, we have to continue to live. It's just another way or this new way of doing things.
Yeah.
Yung mga nakasanayan natin, we just have to do it differently.
That's right. I think nung simula, of course, nung lockdown, talagang mabagal kasi lahat tayo nag-a-adjust eh. But once we found our way, our position, then okay na, busy na ulit. So,
that's right. Yeah, so ngayon, tell us ano ba itong kwento na ibabahagi nyo sa amin dito sa Immigration 101. Please go ahead.
Okay. So, alam mo, isa sa pinakamahirap gawin sa Europa ay ang mag-apply ng asylum. Kasi sa UK may nag-apply na dito ng mga 38,000 a year. Pag pumunta ka sa Europa, sa France o Germany, at least 100,000 ang nag-a-apply ng asylum. Okay? Ito ay mahirap kasi kailangan patunayan na natatakot kayong bumalik sa inyong sariling bansa dahil sa persecution tungkol sa inyong race o lahi, sa inyong relihiyon, nationality, political opinion, o kaya anumang bagay na maglalagay sa buhay ninyo sa panganib. Halimbawa, social o cultural man ito, halimbawa, gender o sexual orientation, at yung tinatawag na humanitarian reasons. Halimbawa, may giyera dun sa bayan nyo. So, yun nga, palagi nating naririnig na pwede daw mag-apply dito sa Europa or specifically dito sa United Kingdom. So, ang question, totoo ba ito? Kung totoo, ano ang pwede nilang gawin? Okay? So, dito sa Immigration 101, tutunghayan po natin ngayon ang istorya ng isang Pinay na matagumpay na nabigyan ng asylum sa Inglaterra. Itatago po natin siya sa pangalang Marisa. 12 taon na siya dito sa At yung partner naman niya ay itatago natin sa pangalang Michael. Hi Marisa!
Thank you for inviting me and for having me here sa show nyo. And it will be a great pleasure to share my experience dito sa United Kingdom.
Wonderful, wonderful. Kasi napakahalaga na marinig ng mga tao kung ano itong experience mo. Kasi sa totoo lang, bihirang-bihira ang Pinoy na nakakakuha ng asylum. Kasi nga, checkin talaga nila lahat kung ano yung mga sinasabi ng tao, kapani-paniwala ba, at may ebidensya ba na talagang kailangan bigyan. Ika nga, no? So, sige, so simulan natin. Una muna, Marisa, pwede ba pakikwento, paano ba kayo napunta dito sa United Kingdom?
Na-meet ko tong aking partner sa abroad. Nag-meet lang kami, and then nagkagaanan ng loob, and then bumalik siya dito sa United Kingdom, nagstay ako dun sa work ko sa abroad, and then in-invite niya ako to come over here in UK for something like a short visit, and then bumalik ako ulit. But that time, nang bumalik ako sa work ko, overstay na ako. And then, second time around, nang bumalik ako sa work ko, hindi nakatiis si Michael. Ang sabi niya sa akin, babalik ako dyan, gusto ko magsama na tayo. Sabi niya sa akin na gano'n, at gusto niya, I want you to be with me for life. Yun ang sabi niya sa akin. So, pumunta ulit siya sa akin, and then umuwi kami ng Pilipinas, na-meet niya ang family ko, nagstay kami doon ng couple of months, and then bumalik ako ulit dito sa UK, at doon na nag-start ang aking pagiging overstayer here in United Kingdom.
Okay, so ibig sabihin so parang alam mo na, love story, no? Fall in love kayo sa isa't isa.
Yes.
Sa madaling sabi, sinundan ka ni Michael.
Sinundan niya ako sa dalawang bansa na ako, kung saan ako nandun sa una sa trabaho ko at saka sa Pilipinas. Talagang sumama siya, talagang desidido siya na makasama ako habang buhay.
I see. So nung pumunta siya sa Pilipinas, okay ba naman ang nangyari?
Nung umuwi kami ng Pilipinas, okay naman yung family ko. Medyo galit sila, pero kasi that time, ako ay may asawa pa, pero kami ay hindi na in good terms. Hiwalay na kami. At alam ko, wala nang sa amin. Yung mga anak ko is my parents are looking after them. So, hindi ko na ini-expect na makikita ko siya nung dumating kami ni Michael sa bahay ng parents ko. So, after noon, nandun kami, hindi ko alam na still interested siya sa akin. Nagkausap kami nung bago ako may maghiwalay na okay na kami, ganun. Of course, maybe siguro alam niya na nasa abroad na ako at jobless siya. wala siyang aasahan, kundi ako na lang, siguro, ganun. Kaya bumalik siya sa mga anak ko. And then, after a couple of days, ando doon na ang kanyang pananakot sa akin, ando doon na yung pagbabanta niya sa buhay ko, pagbabanta rin sa buhay ni Michael, which is, ang buong family ko ay natakot na para sa aming dalawa. Na kung saan-saan na kami sinusundan, hindi ko na alam ang gagawin ko. So, nag-decide si Michael na mag-apply ako ng visa ulit at mag-renew ako ulit ng passport para mawala yung aking dating record dahil nga nag-overstay na ako dito. So, which is, nangyari naman at nakapag-apply naman ako and it so happened na mayroon akong konting business sa Pilipinas. So, madali naman na-approve and then nakabalik ako dito sa United Kingdom.
See. Okay. So, nung bumalik ka sa UK, so yun ba yung panahon na hindi ka na umuwi?
Yun na ang panahon na hindi ako umuwi, Kuya Jean. And then, I stayed with him hanggang na hindi ko makita ang mga anak ko. But thankful there is a social media na makikita ko sila every now and then. Makakausap ko sila, including my parents. Ganun na lang ang kasiyahan ng kalooban ko, yung makita ko sila by camera, ganun na lang. So, until now, hindi pa rin ako nakakauwi.
Okay. So, Marisa, alam ko na nung bandang October, na-pick up ka ng border force. So, pwede bang paki-share mo anong nangyari hanggang nakalabas ka ulit?
Alam mo, Kuya Jean, tayong Pilipino na nagpunta rito sa UK, na nag-overstay, na nag-tourist and overstay, we have to expect these things will happen to us.
Mm-hmm.
Kung hindi mo ma-sort out ang papers mo and you really want to stay here, asahan mo one day huhulihin ka nila. May magtitip off sa'yo na overstayer ka. That's one thing na dapat tatagan mo na yung kalooban mo na darating ang time na ikaw ay mahuhuli. So that time, dumating sila dito sa bahay. We are sleeping in the early morning. At nagdi-deny si Michael na nandito ako. And Michael is expecting that I'm hiding somewhere in our bedroom. But I did not do that because kasalanan ko eh. I'm expecting these things will happen na hulihin ako. So umakyat sila. Tinanong nila ako. Sabi ko ako, oo, ganun. Makikita naman nila na nasa bed ako, may dalawang unan, that means to say, I'm living with him. That's na kami talagang dalawa magkasama. That's one thing lang siguro na maganda na magkasama kami talaga ng natulog na gano'n. And then, kuhanin nila ako, ang pinakamasakit na parte na nangyari lang sa akin na every now na pumapasok sa isip ko na hindi ko matanggap, ay yung dalhin ako sa police station. Kasi sa police station, maginaw, tinanggal ang jacket mo, ayokong bigyan ng jacket kasi yung jacket ay may tali, iniisip nila na maaari magpakamatay ka at may gawin ka sa sarili mo by using your coat. Pero napakaginaw at yung kulungan sa police station ay katabi mo ang kubeta na napakadumi. Yun ang one thing na hindi mo malilimutan, hindi ko malilimutan. Kinuha nila ako ng umaga at nung bandang, I think 9 o'clock ng gabi, doon pa lang ako i-transfer sa Yalesford detention.
I see. So anong pakiramdam mo ng mga panahon na yon? Ano ka, natatakot, nakabahan? Oh.
Takot, pero noong kinuha ako, Kuya Jean, ng immigration, natutuwa ako doon sa immigration officer na babae, nang hingi ako sa kanya ng permission na kausapin ko yung mga anak ko. Pumayag naman yung immigration na babae na sinabi ko na, anak, this is it, eto na, yung kinakatakutan natin pare-parehos. Naging matapang ako, hindi tumulo ang luha ko. Tumulo ang luha ng mga anak ko, pero nagpakatatag ako. Sinabi ko sa kanila, talagang nyo, darating din ng time na masasort out ko to. Yun ang sinabi ko sa kanila. Kinuha nila ako, pakatatag ang mga anak ko. Pero si Michael, naging matapang siya. Nagre-resist siya na wag akong kuhanin. Lumalaban siya, nalalaban ako, nakipag-aaway siya, tumawag ang immigration ng mga pulis dahil ayaw ako ibigay, talagang ayaw niya, na pinapatunay niya lang talaga na we are in relationship together, na hindi ako dapat kuhanin dahil our relationship is genuine. Yun lang ang one thing na gustong ipatunay ni Michael. So nung kinuha niya na ako, na bago sila umalis sa bahay, talagang iniyakap ko siya, hinalikan ko siya, pinakita ko sa kanila, ibinigay ko sa kanya ang pera, lahat na nasa bag ko, binigay ko na sa kanya dahil ako talaga may control ng pera sa bahay dahil ganun siya kaano sa akin. Mahirap pero lesson na dapat tandaan.
Of course, so nung dalhin ka sa police, then tinransfer ka sa Yarlswood Detention Center. So, bigyan mo naman kami ng kaunting kwento. Paano ba ang sitwasyon? Paano ang buhay ng isang na-detain sa detention center?
Bibigyan ko ng magandang feedback ang immigration ng United Kingdom. Okay? I will say they are very good in looking after illegal immigrants. Okay? I think iba yung sinasabi din ng iba nanonood ako sa YouTube na ganun sila, nadidepress sila. When you get in there, Kuya Jean, you have to ready. Kasi ikaw may kasalanan, kaya ka napunta dun eh. Di ba? Pagpasok mo ng Yarlswood, papakainin ka nila. Meron dun sandwich, drink, lahat-lahat. And then kukuhanin nila ang gamit mo. You are not allowed to have mobile. You are not allowed to perfume, powder, deodorant, wala kang dadalhin, you're not allowed to have money, wala talaga, mga damit mo lang, may mga gamit na hindi mo pwedeng ipasok. Pero bibigyan kanila ng mobile na maliit, na pwede mong kontakin ang family mo. Pagpasok mo sa Yarlswood, bibigyan kanila ng sarili mong room with TV, may sariling, para kang nasa motel, ganon. Maganda ang facilities nila, as in maganda. Meron sila doong cinema, meron doong exercise place, meron doong saloon, may maliit na shop, na doon ka bibili ng pagkain mo by using the 5 pounds na ibinigay nila sa'yo from the very beginning. The food is free, mag-order ka in advance na kaagad. Meron doong computer na aanuhin mo talaga yung order mo, na pipiliin mo na yung pagkain mo. You have to be there 7 o'clock in the morning for the breakfast, 12 o'clock for the lunch, and 6 o'clock for the dinner. The food is very good, Kuya Jean. Wala ako masasabi. And free drinks at wala kang iintindihin. Ang iintindihin mo lang na bibili mo sa sarili mo, yung credit load mo, kung wala ka talaga magbibigay sa'yo, and then yung iba mong necessity na kailangan mo, na kailangan mong bilhin doon, yung deodorant spray, o sabon, o shampoo, lotion, ganun, doon na lang bibilin mo. Pero, masasabi ko na maganda, na hindi maganda. Maganda siya dahil kumpleto naman para kang nasa hotel, pero at 9 o'clock night, nakalock ng lahat, hindi ka na pwedeng pumunta sa lahat. Meron kasing computer room din doon na pwede mong gamitin for you to communicate with your family. Meron ding Skype na pwede mong kausapin ng family mo. Meron din kami yung activities doon na Netsan Bingo, Deal or No Deal. May mga program sila na may mga exercise na pwede kang mag-gym, ganon. Meron din park na pwede mong puntahan.
I see. So,
Isang
madaling sabi, parang ano ba yan, nag-holiday habang
Pinoy Big Brother. Parang Pinoy Big Brother, Kuya Jim. May kukompare ko ganun.
I see.
Parang ka nag-holiday. Not too bad, to be honest.
Okay. Pero hindi ka naman naapi doon or anything like that?
Hindi naman, kasi ang Pilipino, typical na palaban. Hindi hahayaan ng Pilipinong maging api-apihan ka lang na sa isang corner ka lang na Kasi ang daming Brazilian. Ang Brazilian ang hari doon. Meron doon na Brazilian na hindi mo pwedeng gamitin ang computer niya. Ginamit ko minsan. Tinitigan niya ako. Sabi ko, what's the problem? What's the problem? You got problem? This is free. Everyone can use this. Yun ang sinabi ko sa kanya. So, hindi ka dapat magpa-api sa ibang lahi na alam mong you got equal na masasabi kong pare-parehas lang kayo na parehas na ganun lang.
Oo. Okay. So, gaano katagal ka sa detention center? At paano ni Michael?
Bali, less than 1 month ako doon, Kuya Jean. Si Michael, pagka off day niya, pumupunta siya doon, pinupuntahan niya ako. Napakalaki ng sakripisyo niya dahil off niya na ngayong araw, kinabukasan, maagang-maaga pupuntahan niya na ako. Nagbubook na siya in the morning na 9 to 12 and then I think sa gabi ulit, nag-aantay siya sa labas para mapuntahan ulit niya ako. Ganun kalaki ang sakripisyo niya para mapuntahan lang ako. Pero ang pagpunta doon is not easy as kung iisipin ng mga tao. Hindi ka pwede magpasok ng cellphone, hindi ka pwede magpasok ng pera. Check kan mabuti bago ka pumasok. They are very, very strict doon. Kaya kailangan ganon. At kapag binibisita ka, hindi kayo pwedeng akap-akap ganon. Hindi pwede yun. Bawal. Bawal yun. Yung pwede kang ikikiss kung aalis ka. Pero yung aakapin, ay ako Kuya Jean, typical na malambing. Inaakap ako mabuti. Umiiyak ako talaga. Pero sabihin ng mga guard, no, you can do that. You have to just part your ways. You have to sit down in 2 chairs like that. Ganun ang ginagawa nila.
Okay. So, sige. So then, after that 1 month, then nakalabas ka naman, and then, pumasok na yung magandang balita na bibigyan kanila ng, hindi mo pa alam.
Hindi. Ganito, add ko Kuya Jean sa story. Kasi doon, pag nasa Yasud ka, may immigration office doon.
Okay.
Pinapatawag ka, i-interviewin ka. Tatanungin ka kaagad kung meron kang solicitor na mag-aayos sa'yo o wala. Hindi ko alam ang gagawin ko. Masyadong lito ang isip ko. Ikaw ay nasa abroad din doon that time. Hindi ko pa alam ang gagawin ko. Naguguluhan ako. So, we don't have enough money. Sa totoo lang that time dahil nga pares na magulo yung family ko. Nag-send din ng money kay Terry para i-bail out sana ako. Ganun sana. Pero dumating siguro mga 2 linggo na ako, meron akong case na asylum. Dahil in-interview ako ng isang immigration na lalaki, gumawa kasi ako ng letter, yung love story namin ni Terry. Inihulog ko yun sa immigration na box. Binabasa nila yun. Binigyan nila ako ng chance, kinausap nila ako. Kung anong nilagay mo, Kuya Jean, doon sa box, yun din ang dapat mong ilagay. Sasabihin mo, parehas din dapat. Hindi ka dapat magsabi ng iba-iba, kwento-kwento. Maraming Pilipino doon, gumagawa lang ng kwento, hindi makalabas. So, nung makalabas na ako, Kuya Jean, pinapunta nila ako sa London, which is, ano ba lugar yung Kuya Jean? Croydon. They interviewed me in Croydon I waited for 10 hours for my turn.
Wow.
At ako lang mag-isa, nagugutom ka na, walang makain doon dahil yung restaurant is sold out. So mag-aantay ka doon na doon bumaloktot ka na sa bangko, ganun. Then nung dahil nga nakiklaim na ako ng asylum, every month, napupunta ako sa police station, magre-report ako sa police station. Pero ang fear ko, Kuya Jean, every now and then, ay naando doon. Natatakot ako na baka tanggalin nila ang asylum ko, i-deport ako. Nung naando doon ako sa, nakikita si Terry ko yun. Nung naando doon ako, natatakot ako. Kahit na nandito na ako sa bahay, Kuya Jean, palagi ako natatakot sa gabi. Dumadating ang fear na kapag may kumakalabog, kumakalabog na anong bagay, nagkakaroon ako ng takot, nagkakaroon ako ng phobia, nagkakaroon ako ng depression, nagkaroon ako ng depression, nagkaroon ako ng stress, nagkaroon ako ng takot palagi. Kapag nakakakita ako ng pulis, natatakot ako. Kasi, siyempre nakita na nila ako, maaaring damputin nila ako ganon. Yung takot ko ganon palagi. Until dumating ang such time na pinapunta nila ako sa Cardiff. Pininterview na nila ako ng isang immigration na babae na nabait siya. I'm so glad, very, very glad na siya nag-interview sa akin. Na napakabait niya sa akin na tinanong niya ako yung tungkol sa aking love story, tinanong niya ako, ganon. At sinabi ko naman sa kanya na ang katotohanan tungkol sa aming lahat. And then, I think that is first week ng anong month, di ko matandaan. And then 21st ng month, natanggap ko na rin kaagad ang asylum visa ko. Ganun kabilis ang aking lumabas ang aking asylum visa.
Actually, alam mo, Marisa, napakaswerte mo, no? Kasi nga, mahirap makuha ang asylum. Kasi, lalo na sa mga Pinoy, okay, nung panahon ni Makoy, actually, nagpuntahan dito, maraming mga nag-asylum dito na, lalo na bumagsak siya, kahit military, nakakuha ng asylum dito. Ngayon, ang ginagamit ng mga tao dito para makapag-stay sila is yung panahon ngayon ni Duterte sa atin, yung extrajudicial killings, yung drug war, ginagamit nila ngayon yan. Pero, ang alam ko sa istorya mo ay nagamit mo yung mga banta ng iyong dating asawa na sasaktan kayo o baka papatayin kayo ni Michael. Di ba parang ganun ang nangyari sa'yo?
Adding to that, Kuya Jean, tama ka dyan. Sinabi ko din yung tinuro mo sa akin na extrajudicial killing sa Pilipinas. And then that day, nang pumunta ako, Kuya Jean, may napatay na mayor the night bago ako pumunta. Na sinabi ko na, how can I go home in the Philippines? Sabi kong ganun. Meron akong fear. Dahil ang dami ng killing sa Pilipinas. Like kahapon, may pinatay na naman na mayor. Andito na ako, sabi ko, for more than 10 years. Andito na ako, ang aking isip at puso at damdamin, nandito na. I got peace of mind here. Tapos pupunta pa ako sa magulong lugar. Alam ko nandun ang family ko. Alam doon ang mga anak ko. Pero ano ang gagawin ko kung andito na ang isip at puso ko sa UK? Dito na ako nakaramdam ng kapayapaan. Yun ang sinabi ko sa immigration officer.
Okay, so anyway, congratulations na nabigyan ka.
Thank you, Kuya Jean. Thank you.
5 taon. So 5 taon ang asylum dito. So pagkatapos mo mapunuan yung 5 taon, pwede kang mag-apply ng indefinite leave to remain. Okay? Ang medyo gap lang doon is pag binigyan ka ng ganitong asylum, hindi ka pwedeng umuwi sa atin. So, okay lang ba sa iyo yun? Kasi siyempre, sabay, pwede mo naman sila makita sa social media o pwede kang makipagkita sa kanila sa Hong Kong o Singapore. So, anong palagay mo dyan?
Ang para sa akin, Kuya Jean, napakahirap. Parang masaya ako na hindi ako masaya na matanggap ko yun, visa ko. Because gusto ko, hindi ko social media is not enough, Kuya Jean, para makita mo yung mga anak mo, di ba? Hindi ko sila maakap. Hindi ko sila ma-comfort. Lahat, hindi eh. So, excited ako nung in-explain mo sa akin na pwede akong pumunta ng ibang bansa after kung pumunta ako sa'yo na binalita ko sa'yo na, oh, Kuya Jean, nakita ko yung gano'n na ikaw din na na-explain sa akin. At thankful ako, Kuya Jean, sa mga advice mo sa akin. Ikaw ang nagbigay sa akin ng mga advice. Paano ang gagawin ko? At kung anong gagawin ko, anong bansa ang pupuntahan ko, anong sasabihin ko, isa ka sa instrumento kaya nakuha ko yung asylum visa ko. Without your help, siguro, ay hindi imposible rin ako na makakuha ng asylum visa. Dahil yung tinuro mo sa akin ang sasabihin ko, ay nasabi ko. Di ba? Yung extrajudicial killing, nasabi ko rin yun. Dahil ikaw ang nagturo sa akin noon. Kaya very thankful ako, Kuya Jim, dun sa tinuro mo. Yung tungkol sa mga anak ko, plano ko sana talaga magkita kami somewhere in Asia. O somewhere in Europe. But dumating itong pandemic.
Of course.
So, paano, Kuya Jim? Paano, how can I see them now?
Yeah. So, konting ano lang naman siguro, konting pasensya, konting tiyaga dahil siyempre napagtaisan mo na 12 taon ka sa UK, no? Ngayon may visa ka na, anytime pwede kayong magkita kasi yung mga anak mo hindi naman sila mangangailangan ng visa kung papasyal lang sila sa Southeast Asia. So, hopefully kung bumaba na yung lockdown, matanggal na, then pwede ka na sigurong at least makita sila, di ba?
Pero siguro, Kuya Jay, mas masarap kung uuwi ka ng Pilipinas, di ba? There's no place like home. Kaso nga lang, hindi ako po pwede. So, ang plano ko sana is to bring them here for a visit visa kung sakasakaling allowed na yung pagbiyahe papunta dito from the Philippines. Siguro, yun ang plano ko sana.
Oo. O, sige. Okay, so, Marisa, maraming salamat sa pag-share mo nga ng istorya mo, no? Napakagandang istorya na nakakuha ka ng 5 years asylum visa. At siyempre, ngayon, allowed ka ng maging totally legal here. Pwede kang magtrabaho, mag-business, pwede kang mag-aral kung gusto mo. So, kung may mga tao, may mga Pinay na katulad din ng sitwasyon mo, anong masasabi mo sa kanila?
Ang masasabi ko lang sa kanila, kung nagpunta kayo dito sa UK at alam niyong overstayer kayo at alam niyong may right kayo to stay here, lumapit kayo kay Kuya Jean. Alam niya ang gagawin. Dahil siya, isa sa instrumento, kaya ako nakakuha ng visa. But, make it sure na magsasabi kayo ng totoo. Huwag kayong mag-lie kasi tinitignan nila yung katotohanan na nanggagaling sa bibig mo at tinitignan nila yung mata mo kung totoo. Inuhuli ka rin nila kung nagsasabi ka ng totoo o hindi. Sa bibig mo manggagaling ang pagkakuha mo ng visa. Hindi sa immigration, kundi sa bibig mo din, sa mata mo. Hindi sa kanila. Nasa sa iyo na rin yung paano ka makakakuha ng visa. Yun ang masasabi ko.
Okay. O sige. Maraming salamat Marisa and Michael of course. At God bless you at mag-ingat kayo sa mga panahong ito ng pandemya.
Salamat Kuya Jean for having me here and then salamat din sa tulong at makikita pa rin tayo one of these days at pasya lang kita ulit sa office mo. Salamat din po Ma'am Rose and looking forward to meet you also din po. Maraming salamat po and stay safe and stay healthy.
Okay.
Salamat, Marisa, for sharing your story with us. Katulad ng sinabi ni Jean, nag-intay ka o nagtiyaga ka ng 12 years, konting-konti na lang. Siguro natutunan ko rin naman pala kayong kita sa ibang bansa. So, ito po ang kwento ng ating kababayan na si Marisa at kung paano po siya nagkaroon ng pagkakataon at tsansa na mabigyan ng visa bilang siya po ay asylum seeker. Tama, Jean?
Yes. So narinig po ng mga kababayan natin ang napakagandang istorya ni Marisa at Michael. Kaya kung meron po kayong ganitong sitwasyon din, wag pong mawawala ng pag-asa. May mga paraan po para kayo ay makapanatili ng legal dito. Kung nais po niyong malaman ang mga pwedeng gawin, mas makabubuti na kumonsulta po kayo sa isang immigration consultant o isang abogado para mabigyan kayo ng tama na payo. Rose.
Maraming salamat, Jean Alcantara po para sa Immigration 101. Magbabalik po si Jean at si Kiara para sagutin ang inyong mga tanong at basahin ang inyong mga pagbati.
Okay, great. So, Kiara, anong palagay mo sa ating guest ngayon, si Marisa particularly? Ay, nag-freeze yata si Kiara.
Kaya naman nakaka-inspire po yung story niya. Hello?
Yes, carry on.
Narinig niyo po ako? Yes, opo, nakaka-inspire naman po talaga yung story ni Marisa and how she persisted in her with regards to her situation.
Mm-mm.
And Sir Jing, magbasa naman po tayo sa mga comments ngayon dito sa Facebook. Ang dami po nating nakatutok.
Sige, please.
So hello to earthlinggorgeous.com. Kanina pa sila nakatutok. And also to Jobel Nelson Nicolas. Hello, KONEK. And also watching here from San Pedro Laguna, Philippines daw, si Zel Lay. And also hi to my uncle, si Tito Archie, he's watching.
Mm-mm. Okay. Okay, nakita ko rin niya kanina si Mayor Councilor Cynthia Barker. Bumati siya. Si Aling Carmen was also there. So, ayan, at saka yung mga si Happy Andrada.
Opo,
of course, Marites, after the show, she was also watching. And she answered some of the questions already.
Opo. And we also have a comment po from Ram Odarag. Magaling po talaga si Sir Jean.
Okay.
Isa din po ako sa mga natulungan niya.
So,
Yung alaga ko na British citizen. Kaya maraming salamat Sir Jean sa mga tulong mo sa amin. Salamat din po for tuning in.
Wala tayong specific question on
yes, we're losing you po, Tito Jean.
Ano?
Wala naman po. I think we pretty much covered everything.
Yeah. Tayo mga sa kwento ni Marita o
watching from the Philippines, Sylvester. Hello, thank you for tuning in. And so, I think we're having some technical difficulties po, pero maraming salamat po for tuning in. Magpapalik po kami para
kasama namin kayo sa pagkonekta sa mga Pinoy sa Europa ngayong panahon ng pandemya.
Dahil kwento ni Juan sa Europa ay kwento ng bawat Pilipino sa iba-ibang sulok ng mundo, lalo na sa panahon ng pandemya.
Sana po ay nag-iwan kami sa inyo ng aral, impormasyon, ngiti at pag-asa.
Thank you to the National Lottery Community Fund for being our funder for this project Kontra Corona. We will be serving you for the next 6 months. Ako po si Rose Eclarinal.
Ako naman si Kiara Gregorio.
At ako po si Jean Alcantara.
Hanggang sa muli,
Sa
JUAN, you connect.
Juan, saan ka man dalhin ang kapalaran, iisang bayan lang sa puso mo'y laman, pinagmulan at babalikan. konting tiis na lang at hanggang